And Donald Trump? Well, he couldn't help itself, it seems. On Truth Social, he has finally fired away. And this is what he said, I'm quoting, "Looks like we've lost India and Russia to deepest, darkest China. May they have a long and prosperous future together." Yes, that's a real quote. Clearly, the picture stung. They rattled him enough to go public with a post like this, because to Trump, this is not just a photo op. It's a picture of America getting left out. And it's understandable. Donald Trump is waging a trade war on the whole world. He has sanctioned India for buying Russian oil, a purchase that Washington itself encouraged for the last 3 years. His advisors are lecturing India every day. They're playing good cop, bad cop. So no, Trump did not lose India. He pushed India to look for other partners. The last 24 hours have made one thing crystal clear. New Delhi can speak to everyone in this game. The West dials India, Moscow listens to India, Kiev appeals to India, and that places New Delhi in a unique position to lead the peace negotiations. Yesterday, Prime Minister Modi received a call from European leaders. The two sides had a lot to discuss. But of course, in focus was the war in Ukraine. EU chief Ursula von der Leyen said it best in a post on X. She said, and I quote, "India has an important role to play in bringing Russia to end its war of aggression and helping create a path towards peace." Why? Because Brussels knows it cannot get the Russian president on the line, but the Indian Prime Minister can. Prime Minister Modi called for a swift end to the war, emphasizing on the need for peace.
Excellency, यूक्रेन में चल रहे संघर्ष के विषय में हम लगातार चर्चा करते रहे हैं। हाल में किए गए शांति के सभी प्रयासों का हम स्वागत करते हैं। हम आशा करते हैं कि सभी पक्ष कंस्ट्रक्टिवली आगे बढ़ेंगे। संघर्ष को जल्द से जल्द खत्म करने और स्थायी शांति स्थापित करने का रास्ता खोजना होगा। ये पूरी मानवता की पुकार है।
Prime Minister Modi and President Putin also rode in the same car. They spent almost an hour together in the car. And what did they discuss? Well, Putin says they talked about the Alaska meeting, his meeting with Donald Trump. Modi and Putin talked about it in detail in China.
I shared with him what I had discussed with Trump at the Alaska summit, and we planned the way forward.
Meanwhile, India is also in touch with Kiev. India's Foreign Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, also spoke to his Ukrainian counterpart. Kiev admitted that it relies on India and India's quote-unquote authoritative voice. That's diplomatic speak for one thing. We need you in the room. The two leaders agreed to meet in New York during the United Nations General Assembly, which happens later this month. Also, ahead of the SCO summit, Prime Minister Modi spoke to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The two leaders focused on peace and stability. Zelensky called the conversation, and I'm quoting, "a productive and important dialogue." He took to social media to add that India is ready to make the necessary efforts and to deliver the right signal to Russia. And what signal is that? An immediate ceasefire. Zelensky says India is ready to urge Russia to agree to a ceasefire. That tells you a lot. Kiev appreciates New Delhi's unique vantage point, which is why it is repeatedly engaging. So India is speaking with both sides, and it has re-emphasized its efforts at the United Nations.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi remains in touch with President Putin, President Zelensky, and European leadership on the evolving situation. We believe all these diplomatic efforts hold the promise of bringing to an end the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and opening up prospects for a lasting peace.
That was India's ambassador to the United Nations, P. Harish. He reiterated what has been India's position since the war began, that we need dialogue